In the name of God. What rescued me? Bravery or recklessness?
The sky extended broad and azure, marked by a few drifting clouds. The sound of vehicles resonated as they traveled down the street. Within a tiny barber shop, a young barber attentively cut the hair of a boy who was evidently from out of town. His accent revealed his roots in a northern city, indicating he was unfamiliar with the area. A piece of paper was attached to the wall, yet it was entirely empty. The boy, deep in contemplation, envisioned himself entering a concert hall, buying a ticket, and securing a seat to hear a women's choir. He longed to switch on the television and lose himself in a comedy movie, something to shatter the thick silence of the barbershop with joy. He yearned for the little joys that previously brought him joy. However, those times had passed, erased by the emergence of the new government. At this moment, merely the humming of the razor and the sporadic passing vehicle broke the heavy silence. With his eyes shut, he imagined his childhood residence, where a basement had previously served as his playground. He recalled playing in that place with his siblings, scaling the rooftop to look around, occasionally winking at his friends to catch their notice. His father, a farmer, lived a solitary life, committed to his land and the rare fishing excursion. Even though he toiled relentlessly for his family, the exhausting work left him far from them. The young man opened his eyes and took off the leather gloves that were on his lap. If only he could reverse time, stop the war, erase the turmoil that had taken over his homeland. He longed to undertake missions like he used to. If only the narrative of his existence could be altered, giving him another opportunity to serve in the armed forces instead of being relieved. He longed to soar once more, instinctively and without doubt, as a member of the fighter jet squadron, positioned in the back cockpit as a weapons and navigation officer. However, justice was a privilege that neither he nor his peers could access. Numerous individuals were compelled to retire early simply for voicing their views. Certain individuals, particularly those in prominent roles, faced wrongful accusations from intelligence agencies and were executed, with their remains left in anonymous graves. Inmates climbed the stairway of their cells independently, but their families remained in the dark, ignorant of their outcomes. Desperate families searched fruitlessly for their absent loved ones. Officials, from law enforcement agencies to intelligence offices, provided no justifications. As time passed, families started to think that these disappearances were deliberate. Their doubts were validated when an archaeologist discovered skeletal remains in a secluded mountain burial site. The young man stared at his slender silhouette in the mirror, his reflection validating what he had always understood: nothing was just anymore. He realized that ex-Air Force members were being monitored by intelligence operatives. Without delay or any moves that could raise suspicion, he proceeded to a hardware store, where he acquired a shovel, a pickaxe, a set of boots, and multiple gloves. Quietly, he climbed into a pickup truck and drove toward his father's farm, prepared to work with the other laborers in the fields.
Like and subscribe if you would like.